to Awakening Essentials. My name is Jona Bryndis. I'm a professional energy healer and energy trainer. And again, I want to shed some light into concepts for empaths and energetically sensitives that are often misunderstood or misconceived. So the part here that I wanted to address, what happens to you when you move from your mind into your heart, when you move from your ego into your sort of divine consciousness. Okay, I want you to understand that there are some basic implications of that. When you are caught in your ego, first of all, you will have a left brain dominance, which is what most of us already know. We seek refuge in our mentalism, in thinking things through, trying to figure things out. We're very linear and very rigid. There's a lot of stress in our system and a lot of resistance in our system, which spikes our adrenaline and cortisol responses. So this is why so many people have issues with their neurotransmitters, issues with dopamine and serotonin, because they need these building blocks that all the adrenaline and the cortisol is using up. They also need magnesium and potassium that are being used up through continual stress and adrenal fatigue. Okay, we're still in what happens to you when you're in an ego state. Okay, you're constantly in this fight, flight, or freeze response. You know, you have this like a fire alarm, you know, that constantly comes up with false alarm. And this has an effect on your immune system, on your physical immune system. It lowers your killer cells. And with it, you know, your first response, it's like crying wolf, you know, your system tires down with this constant alarm that is going in. It also creates a lot of stress for your thymus. So this is why I often recommend to do thymus tapping and stimulate this a little bit to help your thymus to release this. This is where, you know, all this hormonal imbalance has to be metabolized. It disrupts and imbalances the overall energy flow that you have. So those of you who go to acupuncture or thought about this, you know, this is a really good healing modality to get your cells into a better overall flow, because this constant stress just, you know, disrupts it, mostly in the stomach, liver, spleen area for many of you. Yes, and it will also create tension in your muscles and your bones. So a lot of people who have the stiffness and this arthritis issues and also autoimmune issues, you know, that comes from, you know, insisting on staying in your ego state. All right, your serotonin levels go down. I've already explained that, why that is. And your emotions, you know, they track twice as fast as through your prefrontal cortex when you're in your amygdala. So your amygdala is that part of you that, you know, the part of your brain that processes your emotions, and it's part of your limbic system. So it's not actually, you know, you're not actually able to be completely aware of this. And when you're in that state, you know, your emotions, they are in the foreground basically. So whatever it is, fear or anger or whatever, will then dominate the energy for the rest of your energy body. This is really, really important for those of you who have severe issues with anxiety and depression, because when you in those states chronically, you're going to have to work on these mindfulness techniques, meditation and so forth, that help you to slow down or your overall perception, so that you can feel that you have more options than you can see in this moment. So the biggest problem with being in your ego is that your perception is blindsided, and that this sort of broadband router in you is turned off, and you cannot see the larger context. Now when you go into truth, all right, this is what happens for someone who is willing to let go and go into a more neutral stance and become more aware of the present moment and go more into the witnesser mode. What will happen is that your right brain gets fired up. Okay, you're now going into the more non-linear in you. You know, this is where creativity is located. This is where vision is located. This is where connection is located. And it will, even if it's just for a few seconds, induce peace, you know, and it will increase your endorphins. It will increase your, just your proclivity to more positive emotions. You'll be more optimistic, and it will support your thymus so that it can faster process all these, hormones that are shooting through your system and depleting you. It will also increase your killer cells, your white blood cells, in a good way. It will increase your physical immunity. And it will increase and really literally ignite your self-healing abilities. This is why we see so many miracles when people actually go into self-healing. But nobody's ever told them this. So that's why it's so important to learn all these things, okay? Your overall energy flow will be more balanced. You'll have less issues with digestion, with other issues, and your muscle response will be more flowy, and you also feel less pain. Okay, so those of you who have chronic pain, when you can go into that place where you connect with your heart and where you let go of your ego, you literally, go into this place of trusting and compassion with yourself and non-judgment, you will feel less pain. This is also how you can actually transcend say tremendous pain such as migraines. Okay, the track of your emotions is much slower because now it's actually being processed in your etheric cortex, okay, in your heart field, and you don't really have to digest everything that is coming in from the outside. You're less susceptible to other people's projections. You're less susceptible to collective energies. And guys, this is super, super important information. If you understand that, you'll understand why I get so intense sometimes. All right. Now, continuing here with the physical effects and the energy tips that I have for you, you'll feel this heaviness. You'll feel in your whole entire body. Your whole entire physical body will feel like you don't want it. It will feel like molasses, and and this is where a lot of you, go into this, and why do I have to be human, and I don't want to be human, and see all this as a punishment from God. Guys, drop that, okay? You just accept that you are a soul in a human body and love your body, okay? Anchor this in your body, embody, yourself, okay? This is the only way you can actually develop a stronger sense for yourself and also develop more confidence to deal with whatever life, presents you with. You cannot feel yourself, until you actually touch something that tells you that you're there. Tune into nature. Do walking meditations, all right? So do anything that you already know can help you. It's understandable that we have a somewhat conflicted relationship with our spiritual connection because all this modern spirituality that is emerging right now isn't quite part of our daily lives yet. It isn't quite part of what we are being taught. Feel and experience your consciousness firsthand. The internalization of your awareness, of your consciousness, is what can help you to balance it naturally. You don't even have to be able to direct or work or see your energies. Witnessing yourself, your own I am presence, is what can do this for you. Practical things that you can do, guys, are obviously mindfulness techniques, but I don't want to be too wishy-washy about this. Things that really help to tune into nature, to do walking meditations, but also, to tune into other beings, into the etheric of other beings, like trees. So this is where the tree hugging and all that comes from. This actually really works and helps your etheric to become part of you so that you can feel this more. You can tune into, a tree or a plant and really witness it fully, but experience your own presence in it or through it. Obviously, anything that has to do with higher learning, where you study things, where you learn, for instance, energy work, this is something that comes with, begin to be attracted to things that really help you to be more one with your consciousness, and not to see your spirituality as sort of some floaty concept out there, you know, that you do on Sundays or that you do when you go to yoga. And for the rest of the day or the rest of the week, you know, you're just as judgmental, angry, and fearful as everybody else. Continue to comment here. Let me know what it is that comes to your mind. Let me know what helps you. Share this with others here in the commentary, and share my videos. All right, there are many more to come, and you could also let me know what kind of subjects you would like me to continue to cover in these short explainer videos. Thank you for your attention. See you soon. Bye-bye.